Hi everybody, I'm Trin Johnson and welcome to Dust in My Eye. So this is part 2 of my gouache experiment, and part 1 was this painting where I put down Derwent Inktense XL Block, a purple one, and let it dry and then painted on top of it. And this other side I am going to put down a granulating watercolor, and I'm going to paint a scene on top of that. I think the color I am going to use is Bloodstone Genuine. It is a Daniel Smith color, and it's very, very granulating. Now, while I work on this side, I'm going to put my paper from before on this side to protect the one I just did. And this is not going to work quite the same because the purple Inktense pretty much stayed put. It came up maybe a little bit here and there, kind of blended in, but this watercolor will keep moving if I let it. And I really want to get a very granulated effect in the background. And I'm going to try not to get too close to it or I will mess it up. So to start with, I am going to wet my paper and do some wet on wet dropping in of it, because then I'll get some really cool looking effects. Word. There's a word. Oh, I want to change my water. Okay, so first I am going to wet my page. I am working on Dick Blick watercolor paper. Blick watercolor paper. It is hot pressed paper, which I don't usually work on, but for gouache, I think it's easier. I think it's way easier to lay down the gouache. All right, and I have my bloodstone in this palette up here. So I am going to just put it down. Look at that. It's just so cool how it granulates. Just moves in that water. Okay, now for the fun part. Probably this part will show more. The rest of it is going to get kind of covered up, but I'll just go ahead and make it interesting everywhere. Kind of a stormy looking. Bigger blobs. Okay, now I think we're going to just let it do its little watercolor thing. Look, you can see it's already making little like scale patterns. Really, really cool color. Okay, I'm going to put that away because that's it for that, I think. This is all a big experiment, so who knows for sure. All righty, now we just have to let that dry. So I will be back when it's dry. Okay, we're all dry now, and we're going to move on to gouache. So I'm thinking that I might do this one in reds, dark reds and pinky colors. Like this nice pretty rose would go nice with that. There's some pink undertones in that bloodstone color. This one's pinker, I think. Yeah. Okay, I need to darken it a little bit. See what that does. That's kind of cool. Okay, I would like to start that at the same spot. Now remember, this time I want to keep more of the background as is. So I'm going to use the gouache a little more transparently. Okay. That's kind of cool. I can keep it from getting covered up. Do some little detaily things. Then the big guy. Okay. Put a few leaves on here, but not like the other picture. And I need it to either be darker or lighter, so we're going to start with darker. Now I think I just need to do a little bit more highlights so that the tree shows up. Get my hand in here. If you're enjoying this video, I would really love it if you could hit that like button and the subscribe button. It really helps my channel stay here and so I can keep making videos. I really do appreciate it. This was fun. I don't usually paint more fanciful kind of non-realistic, especially with gouache. I mean, with watercolor, I've been known to let the paint kind of do its own thing, but with gouache, it's way more controlled. So it's been interesting to let it really kind of move around a little bit. Very unusual. Just want a little dark. My lovely bloodstone background is making it hard for things to pop against it in some ways because it's so mottled and interesting color. Hard to come up with the right color to show against it. I think that worked pretty well. Okay. So, time for the big reveal, and then I'm going to sign my name, and we'll call it done. Do a little comparing of the two different styles. Here, let's get up closer. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to hit it with a hairdryer and mute you, and the tape will peel better. I've never really mixed watercolor and gouache that completely as I did in this one. Usually I will use my gouache in a watercolor-ish way to begin with. Very, thinned down, that kind of thing. Oh, you leaked, you little stinker. It's that heavy Inktense block that went under the tape because it's so pigmented. And I do use a little gouache in my watercolors sometime, but I have never quite done it like this. Which way should I take this? But I think they both turned out interesting. Now, the one on the left, hold on. Get it started. There we go. This one right here has a whole different vibe to it. A little more traditional gouache kind of feel with very opaque paint. Even with the purple was very opaque to begin with, even though it was watercolor. Whereas this one has a much more translucent kind of transparent, translucent look to it, which makes it kind of interesting. I think it was kind of cool the way you could still see the granulation underneath this gouache here. And yet we have the normal, very matte, very solid, normal gouache kind of style there. Very opaque. That's the word I'm looking for. So they were kind of fun. They were completely different. And I don't know why it seemed like this was going to be fun to do to me. I just went, oh, I should do this. So I hope it was enjoyable. I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you go back and take out your gouache and try it and see what you can do. Or take out your watercolors and get some white gouache and go to town. That way you can kind of make your own gouache. And so you can experiment with it. And experiment with combining the two and playing with the transparent and the opaque. And then see if you can get kind of between transparent and opaque and what that will do. And just paint something out of your imagination. I can tell you, I can see right there. It's always the way it goes, isn't it? That the minute I stop, I know I see something that I want to change. This got so light up there, you can't tell where it stops and where the background starts. So I'm just going to do that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. Please, if you do, please put a comment in the comments and let me know you did it and if you liked it or not, if you had fun doing it. And in the meantime, if you would like to, Please check out my Etsy shop where I have prints of my artwork along with cute little monsters and other fun stuff for sale. Once again, thank you so much for watching.